going on, podcast lovers? Welcome to another episode of WhyIPodcast. My name is Jakub Zajicek, and today I asked 5 questions to Jason Barnard, which is host of a podcast with an unusual name. The name is With Jason Barnard. If you're here for the first time, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell so you don't miss any WhyIPodcast episode we post. We post quite a lot of them. But now, without further ado, let's dive right into the question number 1.
I did a successful webinar series about SEO is AO. Search engine optimization is segueing into answer engine optimization. It was an excuse to keep that buzz going, and it's now turned into a phenomenally interesting experiment. Basically, the guests on my podcast are entities, and Google understands the word through entities and relationships. I'm an entity, the guest is an entity, and I'm trying to indicate to Google that I have a relationship with them. And the upshot of that is I piggyback off their fame, they piggyback off my fame, all my expertise and their expertise. And the visible way you can see that Google is understanding that I have a relationship with that other entity, that person who's been on my podcast, is that when you search my name, they will appear in my knowledge panel on the Google personal brand SERP, and vice versa. When you search their name, I should start appearing for theirs. And it's already started to happen. And it's phenomenally interesting how much we can affect how Google understands who we are, what we do, and who we have relationships with. I've learned so much. I've learned 10,000 times more interviewing 140 or so people from the digital marketing sphere than I learned in the 10 years before. Just listening to people who know boatloads about stuff I don't know. So my podcast is I ask the questions that I want the answers to, and the people kindly answer. And in the last year, I've learned more about digital marketing than I could possibly imagine. I'd have to say Brian Setzer, just because from the Stray Cats, he's the guitar player from the Stray Cats, because he was my hero as a kid and as a teenager and growing up and throughout my 20s and 30s. But I actually don't think it would be a very interesting interview. So I would want to interview him, but I wouldn't have him on my show because I don't think he's going to be that interesting for anybody except somebody who goes doe-eyed when they see him. Brand SERPs. What comes up when somebody Googles your brand name, your exact match brand name? As far as I know, I'm the only person in digital marketing or even marketing who focuses on that, who's specialized in that. I've been studying that for like 6 or 7 years. I can't shut up about it. I thought initially it would, I could look into it for a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, and 7 years later, I'm still finding new things out, and I can't stop talking about it because there's so many interesting things and it's so phenomenally important and nobody's paying attention. Well, brand SERPs, of course. And that's the interesting thing about brand SERPs. What comes up when somebody Googles your name gives you a reflection of what Google thinks the world thinks about you. It's a niche topic that's applicable to absolutely everybody. So it's a weird niche, and it's a niche that everybody's in.